We welcome you back to 5 Talk Street. I'm Scott Murray. Think about it. For 17 years now, Earning by Learning has been helping children discover the joy of reading. Here to tell us more is Thelma Morris-Lindsey. She is the founding director of Earning by Learning. 17 years? You got to be kidding me.
It's been a long.
I remember talking to you a long time ago. It hasn't been 17 years, has it really?
It has.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's been long, but very fruitful.
Oh, it has been. What was the original initiative? You know what? Got to do something. Kids got to realize the importance of reading, but where did all this come about?
Yeah, you look around and you see that children in our urban settings are not being incentivized for academia. When you think about other children who come from, say, families of opportunity, they're incentivized every single day. Their mom may be the CEO of a company, or they may travel to Europe for summer enrichment, or they live in a 5-bedroom home, and all those things that we define as success. But our urban children aren't able to make that leap. We tell them to read, write, and do math for something that happens 10 years from now. And then we also found that children simply weren't reading good novels. And when you look at the workplace, what we expect our adults to do is to problem solve, be divergent thinkers, analyze, and you simply can't get that if you don't keep a book in your hand every day.
How do you change the environment, though? If you're doing this at school,
Yes.
then they go home and it isn't substantiated at home that, you know what, you got to read, you got to read. In other words, it's all left up to you. And you see this a lot of times in the school districts, wherever it might be, that they just don't have the support system at home to support what hopefully the schools are trying to share with them. That's got to be a real tough thing to overcome.
It's very tough, but what we did with the Earning by Learning model is that we took a psychosocial theory based on motivation. And we looked at what are the components that makes a child be motivated to do any task,
And
whether
you probably
it's
have to do
reading
this
or
at
not.
a young age, too,
You have
don't
to do it at a very young age.
Somebody told me before 3rd grade, is that right?
We start with our 2nd graders.
Okay.
But what we've designed in our model is what we call psychic value, what economists call psychic value. Those are things like making sure that children are reading at their readability level, first of all. Because for most of our children, if you're in 4th grade, you perhaps read on a 2nd grade level, you've been frustrated all day long. Then we make sure that the children are reading all genres of books. So if you're in the 4th grade, but you love reading about the constellations, you get a chance to do that. And then eventually teachers can steer you to the Count of Monte Cristo, say, for instance. And then the 3rd thing we do is that children get immediate feedback, because once they've read the books, they go to the computer and they have to pass a test of comprehension. And so we have that accountability that says that the child has comprehended what they have read, and they get that immediate feedback. Those kind of components are components that are intrinsic, that are defined as psychic value. And so those children can take those intrinsic values home with them. And they're internally they're becoming lifelong readers. And that's what ultimately you want. You want thoughtful readers. Yes.
For sure. You've got to be awfully proud of where you've come in 17 years. I mean, take a look back at this journey.
Yes.
And don't go humble on me. I mean, really, you've got to be really excited. This was your baby. This was your vision. And look what it's become. It's one of the most recognized, I mean, we talk about it's synonymous with things like Head Start. I mean, that's pretty good stuff.
Well, we just participated in a Harvard research study, and those findings were absolutely incredible. What they found is that there are only 3 other studies now, including Earning by Learning, that have a 2-point standard deviation. And what that says is that for every month a child is in the Earning by Learning program, they acquire 1 month of academic gain. It's what every public school in our country should be doing. And so if our model is in your district, we literally double the pace of learning. And we do it for under $200 per pupil.
Yeah, that's amazing. That blew me away when I saw that statistic. How is that done? I mean, being prudent, obviously.
Right, and what we have is that we have an amazing volunteer base. We have some educators who are committed to making sure that children become thoughtful leaders. And so we utilize that volunteer base. We make sure that the districts have the books that they need, that the software and the hardware is there. And then you simply have to motivate children. You have to find, there is a book for every single child. And we believe that one literate individual can change the entire destiny of a family. And so the bottom line is to make sure that you have expectations, that you truly don't leave any child behind, but you first have to meet them where they are and let them understand that with information, this is how our world revolves. You either have access to information or you don't.
So to the child, you make reading not a chore, but a choice.
Oh, yes, exactly.
And it makes it fun for them.
Exactly.
And so they do it on their own over and over and over and over. Before I let you get away, I've got about 30 seconds. Any closing thoughts, or anybody that would like to get involved? I'm sure that you can always use money, proceeds out there. You need some support financially. Is there a website if somebody's just intrigued by what you've just shared with us that they might go to?
We receive only private dollars, no state, federal, local, or district dollars. So we're always looking for those individuals who want to help transform children through literacy. The one thing I would say is that let's make sure that our children have books in their hands every day. Over 60% of our children in our country don't have books even in their own homes. And so we've got to be, as a nation, we have to make sure that we not only talk the talk, but we walk the walk, that we make sure that children are our number one priority, and that reading equates to a better life civically, morally, economically, health-wise. So there's this huge correlation between the more literate our citizens are, the better our city is. And we've got to prioritize. We have to let children know that reading is important.
Thelma, Earning by Learning. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor to be with you.
We're delighted to have you here, and thanks for all you've done for so many kiddos. Stay with us. We're coming right back.